Hi everyone, King Wizard here today with a spellcaster spell counter pendulum deck. This is something that I've been playing with the past day or two. Um, I pretty much found this deck on Pojo, and I was building something. I was already building something similar to it using Magical Exemplar and Pendulums, and some of the performages, but it was definitely not as rounded out as this. There are a few cards in this that I've teched in, just that I'm testing out. So this is kind of just a first variant of it. Um, Quick little note: uh, this deck, it's pretty much a rank 4 spam deck, um, as well as like abusing spell counters with Arcanite Magician. But most of the time, you're probably going to end up going into your rank 4s. Because it is pretty much a rank 4 spam deck, and it does have multiple ways of doing that. Um, so I'm just going to quit rambling and go ahead and end the video. I'm running 2 effect Veilers because its effect is good, level 1 spellcaster tuner, very good. 3 magical exemplars, pretty much the one of the extra rank 4 spam parts of the deck. She can spit out just about any card, any monster that you may draw into outside of Indy which I'm only running one of. Indy is not good in multiples, even in spell counter, like completely spell counter focused decks. He is not very good in multiples. 2 Minerva, the Lightsworn Maiden, or Lightsworn Maiden, whatever. She is the primary way you go into Arcanite Magician. Any level 4 monster and her will equal Arcanite, and the fact that she can easily be special summoned off of Magical Exemplar, and the fact that she's searchable through Charged Light Brigade is just pretty fucking awesome. Then I'm running 2 Trick Clowns, 2 Damage Jugglers, and 2 Hat Triggers. Now, the original build was not running Hat Trigger, but I love this card too much. It's so versatile in that you don't have to even control any monsters to special summon him. Just as long as your opponent controls 2 monsters, then you can special summon him. So he's wonderful. 3 magical abductors. Um, she helps search. She helps you search other pendulums that you may need. That, and she also counts as a, not only like if you normal summon Magical Exemplar and then play her, that counts as 2 spell counters on Exemplar. Um, but not only that, she can act as a spell counter host almost. So like, say if you don't happen to open up with an Citadel, but you go into Arcanite, you can use her. You can use the counters from her for Arcanite's effect. So that's great. 3 Perform Mage Flame Mascots. This card is key because again it's a pendulum, so it counts as spell counter when you play it. That, and when it gets destroyed by either, Luster Pendulum, Double Cyclone, or Wavering Eyes, you can special summon a Perform Mage from your deck, which is wonderful because then you can, at that point, you can go for Trick Clown or Damage Juggler. So not only does it put a spell counter on the board, but it also can special summon off a Perform Mage. And I'm running 1 Perform Mage Mirror Conductor. This card I've only actually seen once or twice out of all the dueling that I've done, all the testing. And I understand why it's there, because it's kind of like a last kind of thing that you may search, and its effects are pretty subpar compared to everything else, but it's still pretty good, and it has a lot of synergy with the deck, it being a pendulum, it being scale 3 pendulum, and a level 4 spellcaster. It still has a lot of synergy with the deck. Then 3 Luster Pendulums, the Draco Slayer. This card is great because not only does he himself count as a spell counter when you play him, but his effect to pop the other pendulum in your other scale means that you can place him on your scale, which puts 2 counters, then put another pendulum monster, which is again another 2 counters, activate his effect, pop that other one, search that same one, and put another one, which means right there you're putting 6 spell counters on the board for, it's just so easy to do, and it's so wonderful. He can be pendulum summoned, but because he is a tuner, but unfortunately the only thing he can be used for at that point is Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, which again is not too bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just it really limits what you can actually use him for outside of Pendulum summoning. Then I'm running two Arc Fiend Eccentric. She's wonderful. What I'm finding a lot of with this deck is that you kind of want a lot of your Pendulum monsters to be able to either self-destruct or you want some way to destroy them, and that's why I'm testing out Double Cyclone. But Arc Fiend Eccentric is really good. I was kind of hesitant to use her at first just because she's an extremely expensive card, and I think she's always going to stay that way. But testing out with her, it's really, really good. And the fact that a lot of the Pendulum monsters are pretty low scale, with 3s and 5s, meaning that with the 3s, you're going to be able to summon just about anything in your deck. Pendulum summon, that is. It kind of sucks that she's only level 3. If she was level 4, she would be so much more versatile, but you can't win them all. For the spells, then I have 2 Magical Citadels of Indy This card serves as a spell counter hub for all of your cards, mainly Arcanite Magician. It's just such a wonderful card. 1 Terraforming to help search that out. 3 Upstart Goblins for consistency and spell counters. 2 Double Cyclones to just, again, for spell counters. And 2, I really want to be able to, because there are some Pendulum monsters that there are times where you can get them stuck. And I really want some that can self-destruct, or some way that I can destroy them. And Double Cyclone is really good because it not only serves that purpose, but it can act as an MST as well. And then 3 Wavering Eyes, obviously just because if you have 2, pop both of them, search another Pendulum, and then searching off that Pendulum means that you're putting 4 spell counters on the board, or 4 for Magical Exemplar. 1 Soul Charge, and then 2 Charge of Light Brigades. Charge of Light Brigade is there to search Minerva when you need to. That, and honestly, I haven't done enough testing to the point where I actually did mill something important. I've always milled something negatively off of its effect. But the fact that you do run performages means that you can mill a Trick Clown or a Hat Juggler or a Damage Juggler. Hat Tricker's not the best in the grave, but Trick Clown or Damage Juggler are something that you kind of want to send to the grave. So that's important. Soul Charge, for some reason, out of all the testing, I do happen to draw into Soul Charge a lot, which is really weird, but it adds to the explosiveness of the deck. One last thing to note about the main deck, Wavering Eyes. If you do happen to play this deck, don't be hesitant to use Wavering Eyes when you only have 1, and that 1 just happens to be Flame Mascot, because you will still trigger Flame Mascot's effect. You won't be searching off of Wavering Eyes, but you will be special summoning off of Flame Mascot. Now, for the extra deck, we have 1 Goyo Guardian, 1 Ignister Prominence, 1 Michael the Arclight Sworn, and 1 Arcanite Magician for the Synchros. For the Xyz, we have 2 Perform Rage Trapeze Magicians, 1 Bujinki Amaterasu, 1 number 104 Masquerade, 1 Tellarknight Ptolemaeus, 1 Tellarknight Consular Diamond, 1 Cowboy, 1 Castell, 1 Heartland Draco, 1 101, and 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. A few cards to note in this extra deck that I don't see a lot of other people who play this deck running is Amaterasu. And the main reason why I decided to run her was because you can special summon the Damage Juggler right back. I'm not sure if people just don't think that this play has a lot of value because, again, taking 3 level 4 monsters, which isn't difficult for this deck to do at all. But you banish Damage Juggler to activate its effect from a grave. So being able to pretty much get a free extra level 4 spellcaster on the field is wonderful. Running Masquerade because he's not the best most of the time. If I have 3, then I'm probably going to go for Amaterasu. But again, he's really good. Running Heartland Draco because Magical Citadel. Another thing to note, Trapeze Magician is wonderful with Xyz Dragon. There's so many times where I've OTK'd just because I've activated Xyz Dragon's effect, halved that monster's attack, and then played Trapeze Magician, allowing him to attack twice, and then from there I just attack for game, and it's so wonderful. I have not built a side deck for this yet. I don't even know what I put in for it, honestly. Um, if I make any changes to the deck, because I know I said this was the Blue Eyes deck, but a lot of the stuff, a lot of the red eye support got rarity bumps, so unfortunately I can't play that in real life yet, and I'm probably not even going to. But if when this stuff comes out, if it's not all rarity bumped, like at the moment, Flame Mascot is a common in Dimension of Chaos in the OCG right now, but if he gets a rarity bump, then I won't be playing this deck. But if he doesn't and he stays a common, then I most likely will be playing this deck, because for the most part it is really cheap, given that the most expensive card is Arcfiend Eccentric, which is still an extremely expensive card because it's a secret rare. I can easily replace it with a Pendulum monster, probably a level 4 Pendulum. Other than that, for the most part, it's a pretty cheap deck. You know, Castel and Xyz Dragon are getting reprints, and the Megatins next month. Trapeze Magician is a rare. I already have one. You know, the hats, the performages, the clowns, I should say, are all commons. I already have a majority of them. I need one damage juggler, and I'll have all of them. And just everything is pretty damn cheap. So yeah, that's this deck. I probably went on way too long. Ooh, yeah. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys.